Okay, everybody, thank you very much for listening. We have the second installment of our interviews, and today we got a very special guest, Mr. Jack Cassidy, but I'll let him introduce himself. Can you introduce yourself to the people, Jack?
Yeah, this is Jack Cassidy. I'm in Kingdom 60, so very old Kingdom. So
All right, thank you very much. Now I'm up from Old Kingdom as well, Kingdom K20. So, Jack, how is it in your kingdom? Do you have an active kingdom? I know my kingdom in the past, we had a rogue C40 kind of kill the kingdom a little bit. We're not as active in KvK as you've been. So how's the Kingdom 60 doing?
we still have quite a few active players. Not nowhere near what we used to. We had a Rogue 40 also just kind of go and burn everybody for several months on two different war occasions. And a lot of people quit. A lot of people has come back. I mean, we still got probably, I would say, 4 to 5 active alliances still. One alliance probably has, I'd probably say 90 players in it. The other ones, 50 plus in them all. So,
Okay. Now, in terms of when did you start picking up your stats because you want to make sure you can beat that C40? What was that catalyst to say, all right, I need to get my stats up and become, as I termed it in my last interview, a big, was that the C40? Was it something else? How did you get there?
no, it was just basically him. I got tired of getting zeroed.
Yeah.
I basically just had, we had that war. We had another guy in our kingdom. During the first war, we had this C40 guy. He pushed his, he kind of led everything, and he ended up quitting. Then we have another C40, Dealer 6 in our kingdom. He stepped up, and he started pushing. Then, I just got to the point to where I didn't want to burn every day. So I started pushing mine. Then it was just kind of a leapfrog deal.
Yeah.
I would push, then the other guy would push, and I'd push, another guy would push. So
Now, in your kingdom, like, what is the discrepancy between? Is it your stats and then everyone else is 2, 3 levels down, or do you have other people trying to reach where you are? How is that working?
So in my kingdom, it's my stats. Then I have some, people probably, I'd say 3 levels down probably.
Uh-huh.
But it's everybody's trying to get there. This whole game, everybody's trying to get those big, massive stats where they can stand on their own and they can take those big C40 hits, and still stand there. That's the goal, I think, for everybody in this game is to take a solo hit from a monster in this game.
Yeah. Yeah. And I thought I could during one of these, let's see, what's the KE? I was like, oh, let me just unshield. And next, I got zeroed in like 2 hits. So that it did work well for me. Now, so, one thing when I talked to Khabib in the last interview, he mentioned that you had a couple really tough KvK battles. And as I kind of learned more about K60 and, you being the strongest person there, and also having kind of an older, older kingdom that's not growing as much as some of the newer ones. How I guess, how do you approach it? What's the mindset of your kingdom going into a KvK?
Well, I'd probably say the mindset of my kingdom is probably, how crazy is Jack fixing to go today? So like this 2 weeks ago, I had KvK. We had 344, which is troll. Those guys are just monster guys. And I had actually woke up late for that KvK. So when I logged in, I noticed they were already set up, had level 5 garrison benefits. There was no point of me even fighting them whatsoever.
Yeah.
So then I had 229 with them. Not 229, 299 with them.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, well, I'm just going to go over there and just, cause problems.
Yeah.
So then I ended up going to 229 or 299. I'm sorry. Then just resetting them basically. And I knew Troll by this time, I just started talking with Troll and I knew he was coming to take it. And I can't, one strong guy is most of the time you can fight them.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can make his life hard. If you get 3-4 strong guys like 3-4-4's got,
Yeah.
you just might as well just quit.
Yeah, it's kind of tough with that. Now, how many C40s do you have in your kingdom?
I think we have 30 C40s, 40 C40s maybe.
Now, do they hold the towers, or is it kind of hold it as long as you can, but make sure that palace is full?
Well, so the way we do is we, garrison everything up, and I don't want to give too many of my secrets away, but
No, yeah, exactly.
we get garrison everything up, then we look for them benefits, because them level 5 benefits are huge.
Oh, yeah.
So then it's just a matter. I'm sure if anybody's watched me in KvK, I will bounce around from tower to middle, and I will take those hits. I will mega it up, and we'll take those, megas on the coming in.
Yeah. Now, so I guess between the 2 weeks of KvK, are you still playing actively? Are you kind of like training troops, getting ready for the next KvK? What type of plan are you doing in the game now that you've been around for about 2 years now?
Yeah, so a little over 2 years I've been playing. So, being these past 2 VKs, we've actually lost our kingdom. We lost our kingdom to 344. Then I had KvK 229 this past KvK.
Oh, yeah. I heard that was a tough one.
Yeah, so, I'd probably say the past 2 KvKs, I probably lost 1 billion power. And, once you lose your kingdom, you got – so much time to train all your troops back, or you just lose that buff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to train all mine back, but it's my kingdom, that I worry about. All of my guys weren't able to train theirs back.
Exactly.
So
now, what's the who's the motivator in your kingdom? Or is it someone else, or are you the main motivator trying to get people riled up for KvK, or do you have a group of y'all that's like in charge of the kingdom?
Well, we just have like a couple people that kind of talk. Like, see, during our KvKs, there's several of us that stay on a live line call constantly, throughout the whole KvK. A lot of my guys are from the U.S., a couple guys from Dubai, and another one's from Russia. But most of the time we're on a live phone call. So, like strategically, we're all thinking about it. We're talking about it. Where somebody's doing this while another person's typing to do that.
Yeah.
So, it all works good because, it's like during 229, we had to basically, when Coco reset us and I had to get him out, we froze him and I had to port immediately. So, and if somebody wouldn't have been able to talk about that beforehand, and I'd have never got it done that fast.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, in terms of what's your goal? So when you're building up stats as a big one of the, what is the end goal? Is the goal I want to be one of the strongest out there, or I want to make sure I have X level? Do you have a goal in mind? Do you have, when I hit this mark, I'm going to kind of probably pull it back a little bit?
No, I don't really necessarily, I would say, have a goal. I just want to be able to play and to, play comfortably. And if I wanted to go and do something, I could, might make a little difference, I guess.
Yeah. Now, in terms of, I guess one of the hard parts, like a kingdom like K171, they have a lot of players that's, kind of like on a higher level there. Has anybody recruited you to kind of start over and go to another kingdom?
Yeah, I've been asked to start over and to come to a different kingdom, but I'm so far in now. Just starting over just doesn't make sense for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm holding out and hoping that that GOG gets the kingdom merged like KOA did.
Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of what I'm hoping for.
Now, do you also play King of Avalon as well?
I don't. No.
Okay. Now, in terms of this mobile gaming, so this was this was my first like real type of mobile gaming where I spent like way too much money on this game. Do you play other games similar to Guns of Glory?
No, I don't. This is my only one too.
Okay. That's awesome. Now, in terms of people when you were coming up that you kind of looked up to, did you always know you wanted to be? I know you said you got tired of being burnt, but did you still have in your mind you want to be one of those big top players, and you were talking to people that was at that level, or it was only, look, I need to get this guy to stop burning me. I'm going to push my stats as high as I can, and eventually got to the point where you couldn't stop.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I'm at. I got to the point to where I just can't stop now.
Yeah.
I mean, there were several guys back when I was coming up. You had, Squonk. Everybody knows Squonk, and a lot of people, I don't know if they remember Zooey.
Mm-hmm.
Zooey was a real big guy back in the day. And Apocalyptic, our Apocalypto, he was like the first 35. I remember that. He was a real big guy. I remember watching that guy in KvK, and I was like, man, this guy's just killing everything.
Mm-hmm.
But never in my wildest dreams would I would have thought that I'd be where I'm at today.
Yeah, exactly. And I asked, could be the same question in terms of what would be the point where you say, you know what, I'm walking away from the game. I did all I can do, or I'm kind of moving on. Is there anything in like that you can foresee that happening at any point? Some kind of catalyst?
Like if this game ever gets to where it's just not fun anymore,
Yeah.
then I'd quit. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I enjoy playing the game still, even though I've quit actually twice already, and I've always managed my friends in the kingdom has managed to bring me back.
Yeah.
But it's the relationships people make is what keeps you playing this game, and that's the only thing. It's like,
I agree with that.
in the past, I'd probably say the past several months, I've got to know a lot more people outside of my kingdom. And if it wouldn't have been for that, it would just be boring. I wouldn't log in, but every, 2 weeks, and just be on the verge of quitting already, probably.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I am in terms of, it took me a while to step away, because it's the people there. And for me, it was, okay, playing this other game that I'm kind of like, do I really want to go that far? Because one of the hard things about playing a game like this is you don't regress. You don't say, all right, I'm going to get to this level. I'm going to be this, middle of the tier player, and I'm going to be in battles I'm just going to be sitting at home. That mentality is not there. Either you're going to be there or you're not. And I found that I wasn't willing to put in the amount of time and the amount of resources to be that type of player. So I kind of took a step back, and I'm kind of good where I am right now. So just I don't know. I understand exactly what you're saying there. In terms of I guess, what would you do? Like, okay, if you did stop, what would you do with your castle? Would you give it away to someone? Would you try to pawn it off and try to sell it or something? Like,
No, I mean, it depends. I mean, my kingdom's such an old kingdom. Like if I was say to decide tonight that I'm done, I'm quitting, I would probably give my kingdom to one of my smaller guys in my kingdom that have always been there, fighting with you in KvK. No matter if he's 200 million power.
yeah.
And he's struggling every day. He's in there day in, day out, doing all the Red Guard rallies, everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably just give it to him.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what would you say to a person starting off and they're interested in becoming a Jack Cassidy? One of those people that's in there, the main people in their kingdom, great stats. What would you say to them starting today? Because it's a lot different when you started. So if you could start today and get to the point where you are, what would be your advice?
Well, if you were to start today, you're going to have it a whole lot easier than what I had it when I started. Because I remember when Duelist gear was the biggest thing, and we had Hope gems.
Super expensive, man.
Yeah,
Stupid expensive.
And I can remember when there's no telling how much hundred thousands of gold that I spent on those rare materials just to get like the demon gear or the retribution gear.
That was crazy.
Yeah. But just like if you're willing to put in the time and the effort, and you're willing to step up to the plate, just give it time. You're not going to get anywhere like that overnight. I promise you, but you will get there eventually.
So, do you see a C45 in your future?
Um, I'll probably have to go C45 actually.
Yeah.
I probably, I say, I want to say no, but realistically, yes, probably.
Yeah. Now, so it seems to be where you are, you have to be a certain type of person that's a driven. You don't get to being a super castle or a big, as I called it, without having some kind of drive. So, what drives you in terms? Are you just that competitive where you need to, be the best? Because before it's like, all right, this is a necessity. I don't want to get burned. But now there's something different that's driving you to keep pushing your stats. What is that?
Well, something that drives me is that I'm competitive. Yes, there is some monsters out there that I'm nowhere near what they are, and and if I get them, I can't compete with those guys. But there are some guys out there that we can still compete. We can still have fun during a KvK if because a KvK is, I don't care how big a monster stats one person has, they can't do it by themselves.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of people to successfully take your kingdom.
No, I agree. Especially when you get those level 5, you get all 5 buildings. That really takes something. Yeah, it doesn't take. Definitely need a teamwork there, and I kind of view it as people who are in these games and are being like in your position where you're kind of like the top in your kingdom. You're kind of the leader in your kingdom. It doesn't happen by chance. A lot of times, it's just who you are as a person. And I can't imagine a Jack Cassidy sitting back anywhere just saying, I'm okay with being average.
Well, I mean, I hadn't always been the top guy in my kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mentioned his name earlier, Deether Six. He was the top guy in our kingdom. He always has been. And just up until recently is when I kind of passed him.
Yeah.
I'm trying my best to get him back in the game now. He's kind of gotten bored with it.
Yeah.
So, and once he got bored, it is the only time I was able to pass him. So I would think probably in the last 4 months is the only time I've ever been that one person to be setting all the mega rallies and the whole 9 yards.
Now, what would you like to see new in the game? So you've been around for a while. It seemed like we got far in terms of making it more exciting, and then we just had a big pause, and then there's been a money grab between that exciting part, the new part, and then it's like, all right, now it's just buy more gems, buy new equipment, buy, versus here's something new that you could do for an enjoyment.
Well, as far as if you want to make it people enjoy it, you need to just slow things down. Like let people fight with the stats they have for 2 months, 3 months. That that gives people, the smaller people, a chance that don't want to drop that much money to push them stats up right then and there.
Yeah.
It gives them 2 months to try to do what they need to do to try to catch you. So it keeps them always pushing to get there. And they know that they could if they just work hard at it.
Yeah. And I think it also would kind of motivate people to keep playing and keep pushing. Like when you're close to something, it's a lot different than when you're so far away. When you're so far away, it's like, I'm not going to do it. It's just too far.
See, that's my biggest problem in this game. If I get close to pushing and making an upgrade and I see it, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade it right then. I can't wait. I got no patience for it.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. It's a hard, it's a hard game. So, fortunately, I kind of, stepped away for a little bit. I have some other people using my castle for the good of the kingdom, of course. Now, what about other events? Do y'all get together for, say, Blood Wars or for Ultimate Alliance thing? What is that? Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah, the Ultimate Alliance Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we actually, everybody kind of does their own thing during the Blood Wars and the Alliance Challenge. We have, like I said, 5 active alliances that are able to do that on their own.
Okay.
Like we actually had UAC just here a few hours ago, my time.
Yeah.
And I had 171, by the way. I had Gaio.
Oh man, nice.
He's a monster. Yeah,
Yeah, boy.
But it was fun. We were able to work together, and we pulled out. I think we got second out of it. I think.
Okay. Now, I do you have what's your relationship with other bigs in the game? Do y'all work with each other, talk to each other about different strategies, share tips in terms of maybe like spreadsheets or anything like that?
Well, I mean, no, I wouldn't say that we were at spreadsheets. I would probably say up until a few months ago, man, I mean, like nobody knew who I was in this game.
Yeah.
2 months ago, and I'm very shocked that some people know my name now.
Man, you're famous, man.
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I did have 229, and I think 229's only been reset. I think maybe 3 times ever.
Yeah.
And I was able to reset them once. But it's just I got lucky.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just up until that. I mean, I've been added to certain some rooms here and there online. Then I've been added some rooms in game ever since that happened. So I'm in more of a room with the more of the bigger players.
Yeah.
And it seems like all the big players, dude. I've never heard the first bad thing said in one of those bigger monster rooms. They just, it's all jokes and cut ups, and it's, nobody's getting mad at nobody.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, don't understand that everybody is just a person, So that's why I want to do these interviews to kind of get people to understand that, yeah, Jack may be out there causing havoc on everyone, but at the end of the day, Jack is a cool dude. And he's just a regular sounding guy like everyone else, and just, it is what it is. Just in this particular game, you're just one of those bigs that I talk about.
Yeah, I mean, everybody in this whole game is somebody sitting behind that, phone or the iPad or the computer, whatever they're playing it on, and I mean, it's nothing personal. This game, everybody, I would think everybody plays this game for the fun of it because they enjoy to do it.
Yeah.
We get mad at what GOG does to us when the game crashes, when the game freezes, or they come out with a new update. We got to spend more money. It sucks, but we're all still sitting here doing it. We're all still sitting here throwing money at it and still playing it. And, it's because we enjoy it. We really have fun doing it.
Yeah. No, and I think that's what drives a lot of people. It's the fun. It's the craziness, but it's also, I think, more than anything, like you said earlier, it's more about the people that you surround yourself with, the people in your kingdom. Now that you hit to, at this particular level where you are now, you're starting to meet a whole new set of people. And that kind of relationship will probably keep you around or keep a person around in general, I think, a lot longer as they get to build these new relationships and maintain the ones they had for so long. So that's awesome. Anything you want to kind of mention? Like I gave Khabib some time to kind of go over anything he wants to talk about. Anything you want to go over for your interview?
No, I mean, the only thing I would say, if any of the big guys, get bored in their kingdom because, I'm sure every big guy has peace in their kingdom, so there's nothing really to do. So,
all of them.
Like if you want to have some time, join K360. We kind of started a mini castle war.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's some rules. So you can only be a C21 that unlocks T6s.
That's awesome.
You can only drop so much money
Nice.
to push what you need to push. If you want to train a bunch of troops, then you can train a bunch of troops, but you can only spend so much, for little mini castle wars. So, we're able to go out and attack each other and whatnot, and just have fun with it. Back to when we all first started, we were the small guys. We were going out and attacking every little farm and stuff we could find. That's just kind of what a few of us, I'd probably say about 10 of us have gotten back to, now that all of our kingdoms have peace, you can't go out and burn everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's one of the hard parts. It's in my last interview, KvK talked about, the other person saying, "Oh, you got the Ferrari, you got to use it." But I like the concept. So talk more about this concept. So you have a other kingdom you started, and you have these rules around being a C21. Now, do you have like alliances there? Yeah.
Yeah. So like like I know the two bigger players in 360, and it's they just sit back and laugh at us. But we all join an alliance, and over in 360, we all come in and we pop C21, or there's some everybody's got started to C1.
Yeah.
So then you got to build your castle up to the C21. There's some right now that are C16s. We just all sit in an alliance and we just chit chat. We just have fun.
Oh, man, I might have to join y'all. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, but like we also have to abide by the rules of that kingdom. Every kingdom has rules. So, just this past week they had their weekly kill event.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was just a big laugh that all them bigger players, they were laughing at us. They're not going to burn our little C21s.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was it was like a farm hitting. I was hitting this farm, and I think I ended up losing. I think it was 200,000 troops in the first night, just trying to burn that one guy that's got 80,000 troops.
Wow, that's crazy. That's awesome, man. I like that. That's a great, and that's what the game needs. And I play another game, and I talk about it occasionally, Rise of Kingdoms. And what they do is similar to what you're talking about. They slow everything down. Like you can't go from C1 to C25 in like a month, and the packs aren't, you can buy a whole set of gems. No, you can't buy your equipment. You got to build your equipment in this particular game. It purposely slowed things down to make things a little more enjoyable. And I think your concept of having just kind of like the Wild Wild West out there of C21s, that's great.
But there again, you have to put a cost limit on it too, because
exactly,
because then it just won't get fun for everybody. But just in a couple of days, in a week's time or 2-week time, you can do enough events and stuff to get a lot of the gear now. Some gems, some airship parts, some curiosities. At C21, you're able to unlock everything except for the higher tier troops.
Mm-hmm. So, now, what kind of stats are these people getting at C21? Some people like definitely ringers in this game.
We've been doing this for literally. I think I joined it a week ago, and that was there was 5 of us that started. We popped over 360, and we did it. And there's not a whole. Nobody's just going all crazy because it's just something to have fun with. You're going to spend all your money on your main.
Exactly.
So you don't want to come over here and drop, a couple thousands of dollars on a C21.
Yeah. Now, can other people come? So anyone listen to our conversation today, can they come join you?
Absolutely. All they got to do is just, they can just contact me, and I'll kind of tell them the rules. Our contact, Khabib, our hoist of 350, and just get with the three, one of us, and we'll go from there. It's just all about going back to the beginning. We all started this game and it was fun.
Yeah, exactly. And I might be joining you because that's something that I can do and not really have to put the amount of work it takes in my other castle. But I still have fun with that. I kind of like that concept. And anyone listening to us, you might get a lot of people coming over there. So you might have like 3 or 4 alliances after this conversation is over. But I think the idea is fantastic. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, but and the good thing about it is you got those bigger guys in there that if somebody comes in there and just starts acting crazy and breaking the rules of their kingdom, because we are going to somebody's kingdom.
Exactly.
Then them, of course, them 40s over there are just going to burn you all day. So it's just about being fun. If a whole lot of people join, then I'll step out and I'll start an alliance. Mm-hmm. And we'll all be in that alliance. Then come their little weekly kill event, we'll all just drop tags and just have us a good old time.
Yeah. All right. Well, that sounds great. Well, I think it is a good way to end our interview here. Definitely 360 top level C21. Great idea. I think bringing the fun back into this game. A lot of people's going to appreciate that. And it's nice to talk to somebody from an older kingdom who experienced kind of those pains of having another person come in and kind of almost kill your kingdom in a way but you still were able to be resilient. And now here you go, man. You're like one of the top echelon of the game. Number 2 interview, man. That you don't get there on accident. So thank you very much for joining me, Jack.
Well, I sure do appreciate you having me.
All right, perfect. Well, that's going to be the end. Please join Jack. Contact Khabib if you want to join the Alliance in 360. I think I may do that, so I'll be in touch there. Thank you very much for the interview, and great job.
All right. I appreciate it.
All right, great. Thank you.